Video, we will be seeing part 3 of What If Naruto was the descendant of Sparda. So be sure to stick around until the end. Let's get started. Naruto stared at the large creature in shock. The Dragon Clan? Him? He didn't even know how he got here, and yet he was now the holder of a summoning contract. Sayun, right? How could I become the holder of the Dragon Clan contract, when I barely even know where I am? You became the holder of the contract because you went through the trails, very well if I might add. It's customary for all Kazama clan members to hold the contract with the dragons, which is where they got the nickname, the Dragon Riders of the Mountain. You gained the contract because of that one fact that you have proven to be Kazama clan material. However, tell me boy, how is it that you hold more than one soul within your body? Sayun said with Naruto raising an eyebrow. Dragons are able to see the aura of life and the balance in it. They are well known as being one of the strongest demon clans in the world next to the Kitsune and the Inu of course. Kyuubi said with Naruto nodding. You see Sayun, I am the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune and the descendant of the Dark Knight Sparda. Kyuubi counts as one and the rest are all devil arms with their sprits intact. Naruto said with Sayun nodding. I should have known, but tell me, are you in any way possible related to Kazama Sotachi? Sayun asked. I don't know who that is, so I can't answer that? Naruto said with the dragon showing off a grin on his face. I see, so the split was successful then. That's good to know. Sayun said with Naruto looking shocked. Split? What split? Naruto said sounding frantic. I'm sorry boy, I'm afraid that I don't know all the details, as all I know that this clan left 90 years ago and joined an alliance with some guy named Uchiha Madara. Sayun said with Naruto hearing the Kyuubi growl. Kid, I never did tell you why I attacked the village, did I? Kyuubi said with Naruto giving his full attention to his fox companion. No you didn't. Well, it was all due to the man named Uchiha Madara. You see, about 15 years ago, my den was attacked by him and a large group of shinobi, including one that was a pale-skinned snake-like man and another with his eyes looking like the sage of the six paths. I fought and killed all but those three, with Madara losing of his eyes, the snake-like man using something called the immortality jutsu, and the last man, I simply used my chakra to poison him by having him slowly lose his ability to move his body and lose strength. But before I could finish them all off, that man used something called the Chibaku Tensei, in which it encased me in a moon-like prison, and Madara simply used his Sharingan to possess me. After about 5 years, the next thing I knew I was trapped in a kid's belly. Kyuubi said with Naruto looking surprised before his face became serious. Well, at least I now know where to start. Naruto thought before he looked towards the giant dragon and nodded his head. I accept your offer to be the next dragon summoner. Naruto said, as he knew deep down, he was going to need as much power as he could get, and dragons were a guaranteed help. Very well. Please hold out your right hand, I need to give you the mark of the dragon. The large dragon said with Naruto nodding and put his right hand above his head. Sayun then placed right index claw on Naruto's hand and began to draw a dragon symbol on his right hand. Naruto felt the need to bite his lip, as he felt the claw literally dig into his hand and the skin move, but he could feel the power that the dragon placed into the symbol. Soon the dragon pulled its talon back and Naruto looked at his hand and looked at the new dragon symbol on his hand. That mark now bonds you with the Dragon Clan, and you are now able to summon us freely. Be sure to summon the king when you are able to get your test, Sayun said before he left in a puff of black smoke, and took the light that was once in the shrine, thus covering the area in darkness. Naruto looked at his hand once more before he was about to leave, only to hear someone groan before looking back and saw the person that was in the bed was now awake. The girl looked around and found no one but Naruto standing at the shrine, looking out in a daze. Hey you, who are you and where are we? The girl asked with Naruto turning to the girl. I don't know really, I just got here like 10 seconds ago and I'm already confused. My name's Naruto by the way, Naruto said looking the girl over. He had to say that she is cute, with her light blonde hair and clear blue eyes, and was wearing priestess-like clothing. The girl looked at him as if she's seen him before. His appearance? I felt like I've seen him before. My name is Nodoka, but how did you get here exactly? Nodoka asked standing beside Naruto, while trying to remember where she's seen him. If you're the princess, then that means that my mission to find you has been accomplished, he said before seeing the little girl look at him in shock. Your mission? How was finding me your mission? I was sent here by the Sandaime to come and find you after you went missing a while ago. I actually thought that you were in this clan home that I just came out of, but now that I've found you we can get out of here, Naruto said with Nodoka nodding. However, I would have to move at my usual speed, so I would have to carry you on my back, Naruto said with the little girl blushing a little before nodding. Naruto then bent down on one and allowed the girl to climb on his back, who quickly wrapped her arms around his neck and felt Naruto grabbed hold of her legs. You ready? Naruto asked with the little girl nodding before the boy took off at high speed, with the little girl holding on tight. Later, the former blonde and Nodoka were now racing through the forest at high speed. They were currently just talking to one another about their lives and what happened to them. Naruto told her about his past and how he had to struggle all his life, while Nodoka told him about her mother and how she was beloved in her home by the villagers. Her mother's name is Amatsu, and she was one of the main reasons why the little girl could not wait to become the leader of her village and protect the village with her powers. Speaking of which, when Naruto asked what kind of powers they were, she stated that they were telepathy and that the power is extremely hard to master on your own. She also said that on a few rare occasions that the power would help her be able to see into the future, though they were never accurate on what they showed. She claimed that when the time came and she mastered her powers high enough, she could control the amount of visions she receives. After that, the conversation became silent, but as they ran, Naruto began to feel that something was strange. It was as if something was pulling him towards a different location than what he was going for. He did not know why, but he had the feeling that he was being directed back to the clan house he just left. Indeed, he was right when the house came back into view, but there was some type of dark barrier over the lighthouse and the small houses as well. Naruto, what is that? Nodoka asked, with Naruto stopping in front of compound. I don't know, but I got the feeling I'm about to find out, Naruto said before the barrier opened up and brought them both in. Later on, Naruto woke up after he blacked out for a second and looked around to see that he was in nothing but darkness, with the only form of light being the ground on the bottom, which looked like lava in a way. He stood up, looked around the area, and saw Nodoka was in the air with a bubble around her and said girl was pounding on the barrier in front of her. Naruto took out Blood Fang and fired several rounds at the barrier, but to no avail. They didn't work. Well, that's a bit strange, Naruto said, getting ready to attack again, only to be stopped by familiar voices. So the Sparda boy survived. Can't say that I'm surprised, but it still angers me so, the voice with the deep tone said, with Naruto looking around. Well, if it isn't the Three Stooges rearing their ugly, voices again, Naruto said, hearing a growl from them. That's it. I've had enough of why your insignificance in our presence. You must be punished, the stuttering voice said, with Naruto smirking up a storm. WWWL do SS something about it? Naruto said, with the voice growling at him. That's it. Release them upon this disrespectful brat, the voice said, with Naruto's smirk still on his face. He then heard the sound of breaking glass, as the demons Naruto faced before coming to the tower appeared before him, each holding their signature scythe blades in their hands. Naruto simply summoned Yamato to his hands and simply took a tight hold of the handle. He then vanished from thin air before reappearing behind another one, with his sword behind his back. The demon then split diagonally in half before exploding in sand. Naruto then slashed a couple more demons and was not finding a challenge in either one. Is this all you got? I had far better challenges on your first punishment, Naruto said, cutting of another demon's head before stabbing another through his stomach. You want a challenge, brat? Fine, then we will give you a challenge. Release the abyss, the old voice said, finally showing himself. Naruto then heard the sound of another glass breaking, but didn't see what came until a huge tentacle came out of nowhere. Luckily he was able to jump back far enough in time to dodge the tentacle, unlike the demons he was facing, as they were all destroyed by the tentacle. Naruto looked upwards, to see a strange beast come out of the shadows from the ceiling. The beast had 3 dragon-like heads and a lot of tentacles to use against him. It was with this beast appearance that Naruto could only say one thing. How the fuck did I get into this shit? With Nodoka gasped at hearing the words Naruto just spoke. She remembered having a dream about a white-haired boy, fighting a giant creature with no amount of fear, but before he could have a chance to beat it, he was captured by the monster and was about to be killed before her vision ended. She wanted the boy to live, she wanted the boy to come out of this without any harm done to him, but she couldn't do that with her trapped in this barrier. She then took off the bell that was given to her by her mother and began to pound against barrier with the bell. The bell seemed to be working as cracks began to form, but she saw that she had to hurry as Naruto was now in the air using his strange black fire jutsu and destroyed one of its heads. With a few more hits to the barrier it broke completely and she was now running as fast as her little feet could take her to save the boy, but she was too late. Naruto was caught and the demon was now prepared to send one of its tentacles through Naruto's chest. Naruto was all she could say as she closed her eyes and prayed the boy would be okay. Naruto. The white-haired boy was now fully aware that he was at the mercy of the demon's attack, and was now trying to get his arms out from the binds that held him, but for some reason the hit never came. He then opened his eyes, and saw that a blonde figure was now holding the tentacle with one hand, while the other was pointed towards Naruto. Geez son, do I have to keep saving your ass? The blonde said with Naruto gasping. Father? Father? Naruto said, seeing the back of his father's coat before him. The white-haired boy could stare in shock as his father protected him from the giant's beast's attack. He was even more surprised when he suddenly felt a pain hit his stomach, and was shot back down to the ground and hit said ground hard. When he got up he saw his dad standing in front of him with a smile on his face and his arm extended. I told you I would see you again, Minato said with Naruto grabbing his right arm. He was sure that it was broken but could feel Kyubi repairing the limb. "Father, how are you here again? I thought you were joking when you said we'll meet again?" He said on to have his head ruffled. "Well, actually I wasn't. Before my soul disappeared after the test, I transferred as much chakra as I could into your body, and once you were in enough danger I would appear before you as your shield," he said, hearing the beast screech while trying to attack them, only to hit nothing but air. "That's funny. You would think that after the first one, he would just wait," Minato said before turning his attention back to his son, who appeared to be much better now. "So you're only back temporarily?" Naruto asked with Minato nodding. "Well, this sucks. Why do I keep thinking you're back permanently and you have to go back?" Naruto said with Minato laughing to himself. "I'm sorry Naruto, but I just can't. The seal is designed so that I remain within the Shinigami stomach, no matter how much I want to leave and be here with you and see you rise to greatness like I know you will. But I couldn't find a seal that could possibly have the same amount of strength as that one did, no less with the amount of time I had to make it," Minato said with Naruto sighing. "It's okay Dad. I guess I just got selfish but it will pass over," Naruto said before he got a serious look on his face. "Now tell me Dad, how do I stop this monster?" Naruto asked, seeing the demon slam its tentacle into the barrier, but to no avail. "It didn't work. You'll have to use the style that I gave you," Minato said with Naruto raising an eyebrow. "Serenity? But how can I use it when I barely know how to use my new devil arms?" Naruto said with Minato placing his index finger on Naruto's forehead. "I'll help you learn it manually. This will give you a slight headache but you and I will have a small fusion before you know how to use the style. Also Naruto, know this, weakness is only a matter of thought. You are only strong if you allow yourself to be strong. Now let's say we kill this beast once and for all," Minato said with Naruto finding a huge smile on his face. This was going to be big. Meanwhile, Nodoka watched, with a heavy heart, as the beast kept assaulting the boy's only means of defense. She saw the boy about to be killed before the tentacle was halted and the boy was now on the ground, where the beast continued to attack the boy's barrier only to see it explode outward and sent the beast back a little, and saw Naruto stand tall, with silver-like energy surrounding the boy. She then saw the beast try to send another tentacle at Naruto, only for the boy to hold up his right arm and call out serenity. The tentacle was then blasted away from the boy. Naruto had a deep smirk plastered on his face, as he brought up his right arm and called out rebellion with the broadsword returning to his hand. Naruto then ran towards the beast holding the blade in its stinger position, and stabbed the down tentacle and sliced it clean off, making the beast screech before sending another tentacle at him. But Naruto held up his left arm and executed the same move, which blasted the tentacle away with the powerful force it held. The white-haired boy then placed the sword on his back, and ran towards the demon's body, which kept trying to attack him. Naruto dodged all the strikes and hopped into the air before holding out both arms towards the beast, which sent one of its head at him only to implode within itself and explode outwardly, when Naruto used his Serenity technique and caused the head to explode. So that's Serenity's power. The ability to push and pull the force of gravity itself. Nice, Naruto thought, as he watched the demon's head fall to the ground, leaving only one to fend for itself. "Naruto, we need to end this quickly. My chakra is almost out and you can only use this move 2 more times before you're done," Minato said in celestial form, which was slowly fading away. Naruto nodded to his father and spread both his arms, shoulder-length apart. In his right hand, he began to form a Rasengan, while facing his left towards the ceiling. Minato's form then placed his hands around the Rasengan, and transfers his power into it. Nodoka saw the orb in Naruto's hands glow bright silver and illuminated the darkness around them. Naruto then used his Serenity technique to push himself off the ceiling and flew at the demon head on, at full speed. "Naruto, you must be very careful when using the Serenity move. Right now, you can only use it a total of 4 times a day, but the more you train in it, you'll be able to use it an unlimited amount of time. But for now, never go over that limit. If you do, you'll die," Minato instructed, now side by side with his son, with their Rasengan between them as they neared the demon's body. Father-son, they each yelled as they landed on the demon's body and slammed the orb into it, making the demon cry out in pain. Rasengan, they called, with Naruto using Serenity one last time in order to seal the deal. The demon screamed out in pain, before it fell over, dead. Naruto looked forward as the demon's body began to disincarnate, while his father slowly began to disappear in the wind. Naruto gave one final goodbye to his dad, before he vanished and Naruto was once more left alone. Naruto then saw a white orb appear when the demon's body was gone. But this one had a very strange aura to it, as it looked as though it was surrounded in darkness. However, seeing as how it was a new power, he held up his hands up and took the power in. The second it came in his body, it had a very strange reaction to him. He felt deep down, darker. He felt a slight desire to kill more than ever, and punish those that has hurt him. But that wasn't the only thing that he felt, as knowledge came into his head. This power was called Heart of Darkness, which gave him the ability to manipulate shadows to a certain degree as well as use a good amount of techniques that came in conjunction with the power. It seems like this is really just an addition to my affinity with darkness and with a number of techniques to go with it. But for some reason, I can't help but think that I need to be careful when using this power. Naruto thought before seeing Nodoka run towards him, looking surprised at what she just saw. Naruto-kun, what just happened, are you alright? Nodoka asked, while trying not to look closely at the boy's body. Oh yeah, I'm good. Come on, let's get the hell out of here, Naruto said before picking up Nodoka and sat her on his shoulders, which she enjoyed doing before Naruto took off into the distance and away from this crazy. He lit the clan house without looking back, not seeing the figure appear near the gate with a smug smirk on his face before he too walked in. It appears that the boy has grown stronger. This will make things far more interesting as the time goes by, but for now I need to wipe out this place before someone else discovers it, the figure said as he walked into the clan house. Nobody would ever know what happened in this place, as a massive shadow overtook the area and sucked in all the buildings into its eternal abyss. The next day. My, that is quite the mission you've been on, Naruto-kun and Miss Nodoka, I presume? He asked with the little princess nodding her head. That is correct, Hokage-sama, though I was surprised that I didn't arrive sooner than I should have in regards to my coming here, Nodoka said, as she still didn't fully remember how she woke up in the shrine near that strange and old clan home, nor the fact that she met a Konoha shinobi. She had only met through her telepathic powers but was still happy to know that Naruto would live. But she couldn't wait to go home to her mother and her people. Well, all that matters is that you're safe here. Now in regards to where you're staying, I would try to find you a hotel as soon as possible if you would like, Sarutobi said with Nodoka looking at Naruto for a quick second before looking at Hiruzen with a small blush on her face. If it's okay with you, Hokage-sama, I would like to stay with Naruto-sama, she said, blushing at her fuck up. A fuck up that Naruto and Hiruzen caught, though Naruto had a deep smirk on his face. What is it about me that the ladies love? Well, I think the tattoos will be a major boost for me now, Naruto thought, looking at all his tattoos that were now all over his body. Hiruzen simply stroked his chin. Okay, I can allow that. Very well then, I'll have you registered in Naruto-kun's address, and Naruto-kun. Hiruzen then handed Naruto a scroll. That there is your payments for the 2B rank missions you have taken, he said with Naruto raising an eyebrow. 2? I only took 1, old man, so how could I possibly take 2? Because 1 payment is from the mission you just took and the second payment is the incident from Mizuki a while back, he said with Naruto smirking. I didn't pay you when you graduated because your certification didn't go through until a month ago. I'm just paying you double for what you just did, he said with Naruto laughing in his head. I'm going to make it rain in this village, Naruto thought, as he imagined taking all of the money he could and simply throw it into the village and watch the people fight like chickens to get a couple of bucks. Okay, old man, I'll see you later, but for now, I need to show Nodoka around the village, Naruto said before picking Nodoka up and sat her on his shoulders. Giddy up, horsey, Nodoka said as Naruto made the sounds of a horse before leaving the room with the old man sighing. Ah, what I wouldn't kill to be young again, or at least to have you back here, my Suhiko Haim, Sarutobi said, thinking of his late wife and all the fun they had in the past together, with them raising their 2 sons and enjoying life. With Naruto and Nodoka, the twosome raced from building to building, while Naruto took the time to glide in the air and enjoy the hang time. Nodoka, however, was a little afraid of heights, but felt that being scared around Naruto would be embarrassing, so she tried her best to be brave. As the dup ran to Naruto's apartment, the white-haired boy showed the girl around the village and the spots he normally goes to. After a while of sightseeing, they made it to Naruto's place and she had to say that it looked impressive on the outside. Naruto landed on the wall next to his apartment's balcony and walked right through the glass door, with Nodoka walking in as well. Welcome to my humble abode, Naruto said before removing his jacket and was now shirtless, which Nodoka caught herself glancing at him multiple times with her blush growing by the second. So Naruto, you live here all by yourself? She asked with Naruto nodding. The white-haired boy did some seal and closed his eyes. A blue tint covered his body and soon all the tattoos he gained disappeared, except for the Rebellion and Yamato tattoos on his arm and the Kyuubi tattoo on his back, making him look clean and neat once more. Nodoka was confused as she figured the tattoos natural, but to see them disappear confused her greatly. In case you're wondering, the tattoos are the result of the demonic energy that I have absorbed into my body. I just simply repress them, so that I can use my weapons later on, Naruto said, but I can still bring them back out by just simply allowing their powers to come forth. But other than that, I don't have natural tattoos, Naruto said while looking at his arms and saw that Rebellion and Yamato was still present, and if push comes to shove, Kyuubi was as well. Though I still don't understand how you 3 never leave? Oh well, Naruto thought before he took Nodoka to the guest room. The guest room was about the size of any normal apartment-sized room, except Naruto's was bigger due to the master bedroom status it had. Nodoka liked how big the bed was and was happy with the view she had of the village, even though she would only be here for a little while. When she turned to ask the white-haired boy a question, she saw that he changed into a different look. This time he wore a black mesh shirt under a black vest with a few pockets in the front with red pants that had small pockets on the side and had his headband tied around his waist like a belt. She also saw that he had the Yamato tucked into the headband, though for what reason she did not know. "Come on, let me take you to the best place this village has to offer in food," he said, with the princess nodding her head and followed behind the boy. This was going to be quite fun. Later, Naruto now stood in the outskirts of the village, wearing the same getup as before. He was busy trying out his new power, Heart of Darkness. He was busy trying to master one of the 5 techniques that were given to him by the style, though it proved to work very well with the Yamato. The technique was called Shadow Streak, from Burning Truth. "Thanks bro," and it was a good move. It allows him to manipulate his image in the form of afterimages and would follow you as if you were moving at super high speeds. They could also individually attack with the creator, so that way he can use 3 attacks instead of 1. He could not wait to master this move, as that would make fighting a lot more fun and faster. But after a while of training, the time came for when Naruto would bring out the boss and introduced himself. He bit his hand and quickly did some seal before calling out summoning jutsu. Dragon, and the whole area was covered in black smoke covered the area, and a huge black dragon stood there at about 200 feet tall. The dragon had huge black bat-like wings that if fluttered would possibly summon a wind so powerful that it would blow the village over. The dragon then looked at Naruto with its huge gold eyes and spoke with a booming voice. "I take it that you are the new holder of my clan's contract after nearly 100 years? The giant said, with Naruto nodding. "Yes. My name is Namikaze Sparda Naruto, honorary member of the Kazama clan and descendant of the Dark Knight Sparda," Naruto said, with the dragon looking curious. "That's quite a resume you have on your hands, boy. I would say that you're like some kind of powerhouse built with very delicate care," the dragon said, as it could read Naruto aura, and could sense a lot of power held within the boy, but the question now was what type of power was the boy hiding? "Not really. Due to a recent turn of events, I am now gaining more power by the day and I need to go through a large amount of training in order for me to keep full control of it. Other than that, I guess I am a powerhouse," Naruto said, starching the back of his head. Unbeknownst to him, due to his position, the giant dragon spoke. "I barely know you, yet I like you already, kid. I would say that you are indeed a worthy summoner of my clan and deserves to be able to summon us. However, I think that there are some things I need to tell you," the dragon said, with Naruto looking intrigued. "What would that be?" Naruto asked, with his arms folded. "In my clan, all dragons have the unique ability to manipulate all the elements at our disposal, but in some cases most dragons can only use fire along with a special trait that they're given from birth, such as my 4-time great-grandson, Sayun. He is what is known as a Stardust Dragon, because he has the ability to fly out of the atmosphere and into orbit, as well as use the cosmic energy the world gives us. Some dragons can use darkness, fire and wind to make dark flames, while others just cannot use any type of element. I am of some odd dragon classes, as I can manipulate the elements, but I can only use dark flame as my main element. You would have to be very cautious about summoning us and make your choices wisely. Is there anything else you need?" "Yes. I thought that I would need a test to take in order to summon you without worry?" Naruto asked, with the dragon nodding. "That is true, but seeing as how you impressed me beforehand, I'll just simply say that you did take my test and beat it. Goodbye," the dragon said, with Naruto nodding before back flipping off the dragon's nose and watched as black smoke covered tea again. Naruto then opened his hands and called out Serenity, Push, and began to slowly descend back to the ground. He then summoned Pandora out before he turned it into its bike form before getting on and rode back to the village. Today was a good day. Naruto trained hard in his personal training ground that he found near the outskirts of the village. The place was nothing more than a small meadow with a lake and a waterfall, and grass surrounding the area, making it very peaceful. He was currently working on his devil arms, but mainly on Nevin. These devil arms was not only powerful, but helps him learn some new type of skills. From Cerberus, he learned how to wield nunchucks and how to use them properly. This would be a bit better for him, as the tri-chucks were hard enough to master as it is. Agni and Rudra taught him how to use a two-handed sword style, meaning that he did not have to use Agni and Rudra alone, for there might be a time when he couldn't use his devil arms, and knowing that helped him greatly. Onigumo taught him how to scale walls and jumped higher than he normally could. Then came his personal favorite Nevin, much to her pleasure deep down. Naruto loved using this weapon, as it taught him how to use a guitar, a skill that he has desired to gain for a long time, but just never got around to try to find a teacher. The guitar taught him how to use the strings in any type of succession, such as the stroke, the rift, and other details that he could really explain. He loved this weapon a lot, and couldn't stop working on it. He would sometimes work with this devil arm for damn near a day, a whole day of playing some songs that he knew, such as Do for Love by Tupac, Somewhere I Belong by Linkin Park, Land of Confusion by Disturbed, And why by ION? Yep, I like rock music. He played the weapon with a quick stroke of his hand. He sent the blast of lightning-infused bats towards a tree, and watched the attack destroy it in a glorious blaze of fire, which he put out of course. Naruto gasped at how powerful the weapon was, and found a smirk on his face once more. This is far too much fun for him. He began to play a riff of 50 notes, all in succession of each other, and during the process, the bats surrounded him in a lightning twister and destroyed most of the ground him. When he opened his dark purple silted eyes, he pointed towards one of the rock faces under the waterfall. With that hand gesture alone, that the bats sent a blast made of pure lightning that nearly destroyed the whole waterfall, had Naruto not sent the attack over the waterfall. He was marveled at the intensity the blast held and how much energy it took in. You like that, master? That is the extent of my power, but you haven't seen what my full power can do, Nevin said with Naruto smirking to himself, as he returned Nevin to his body, returning the tattoo before it disappeared. I look forward to that. Naruto thought before biting his thumb and summoned a dragon. The dragon was about his height, only a bit taller, and was light blue in color. It was currently standing on all fours with its wings located near its lower back, which looked great for gliding in the air and flying at quick speeds. He walked up to the dragon and petted its head. How are you doing, Saphira? I hope you're doing well, he said with the dragon lowering its neck. Could have been better. There's not much to do in the summoning realm, and the only type of excitement I get is when you summon me for rides or to help you prank from the air above, Saphira said as Naruto got on her back, as she raised her wings and took off into the air. Well, don't worry. Soon you and I will be able to fight together, but for now let's just enjoy this, he said with the dragon screeching loudly, before it increased its speed and made the flight much more enjoyable. Later, with Team 7, Naruto and Saphira arrived to his training grounds to see his teammates were still waiting for their tardy sensei to come. He sighed inwardly, as he watched his teammates glare at him because he was late. Little did they know that he figured that if Kakashi were always 3 hours late, then he would arrive after 2 hours and 55, of which the team was supposed to arrive. This gave him extra time to train, fly with Saphira, have breakfast, and would still be on time and would only have to wait 5 minutes before their sensei arrived. They did not like that one bit. Naruto, you're late again, Sakura screeched, trying to punch him, only for him to grab her hand and sighed. For the last time, Pinky, I am early since Kakashi is here. Also, when will you get it through your head? He said as he placed foot behind Sakura's feet and pushed the girl forward, making her trip over his foot and land on her ass. That I am stronger than you. I can hurt you 20 times more than you could to me, Naruto said, walking over her down position and walked towards the bridge's post, not seeing the glare Sakura was giving the back of his head, hoping that she could find some way to make Naruto her puppet again, and personal punching bag to take her anger out on. Naruto stood at the bridge with Saphira next to him. He scratched the dragon's head while Sasuke was glaring at him. Dobi, how is it that you are in command of that dragon? Sasuke asked, as he saw how the dragon was appealing to Naruto, like she was his master, and he felt that he deserved that dragon far more than Naruto did. Because team, I earned her respect and she named me her master when I saved her on my mission a few weeks back, Naruto said, since it was the truth but just twisted so he could still be telling the truth and not lying. Give her to me, he said with the dragon growling at him, only to feel its head being scratched a little more, telling her that he got it. No was all Naruto said as Sasuke gave him a growl. Perhaps you didn't hear me, I said give me the dragon, Dobi, he said with Sakura telling Naruto to do what he said, only to back off when the dragon growled at her. Sasuke would have continued had it not been for the barrel of his gun aimed at his face with the finger threatening to pull the trigger and he himself telling the boy to shut his trap. This was the scene Kakashi arrived to when he finally arrived to his training ground. It seemed that Naruto sensed him. When he put his gun away and looked at his location, about time you showed up, Cyclops. I got bored with duck ass and Pinky MC flat shirt, Naruto said, making his teammates growl at that comment, though it was quickly wiped out when Saphira growled at them. Okay. Today we have another D-rank mission, so let's go, he said with the team following him with Saphira coming along, and walked next to Naruto. Later, D-rank mission. The figure dashed towards freedom at the highest speed possible for him, desperate to escape his pursuers. As he made his escape, he used the darkness of his surroundings to the best of his ability. He would not be caught and sent back into that hell, not today, and never again. Panting heavily, he stopped for breath, warily searching his surroundings before sighing, having not located his pursuers. Target located. Raven in position. A voice whispered quietly into an earpiece, the owner eyeing its target. Cherry Blossom in position. A second voice whispered through gritted teeth. White noise with target in hand. Returning to the rendezvous point. Came the third voice with the sound of purring coming through the intercom link. This was the 5th time that Team 7 had to take on this mission, and they were tired of it. Well, Sasuke and Sakura was, as the cat would scratch and claw them to the point of no return, but whenever Naruto came by, the cat would jump right into his arms as if he was the beast's master. I think Tora needs a new home. I know I'll give him to Ayame-chan, since she said she loves cats. He thought, petting the cat, who purred loudly, showing how much it liked the boy. He quickly made 2 shadow clones and gave them their instructions to make sure that this would be the last time all the genin teams would take on a mission like this. Within 2 minutes, Team 7 now stood before the Hokage, who was glad that the daimyo's wife had her cat back in her hands and was out of this village. So far the cat ran away 20 times, with each genin team taking a good amount of those missions, but after seeing Naruto's smirk he could tell that the boy already had something planned, and it wouldn't be pretty. Okay, Cell 7, seeing as how you have completed your 25th D rank mission, you are now eligible to take on a C rank mission, he said, with the team instantly accepting the mission, as they were tired of the D rank mission they had to take. There was one where they had to babysit about 5 kids and all of them cried whenever Sakura and Sasuke were around, but Naruto would always do better than them. The 2 genin would never understand how a boy, who was stupid that many people thought he couldn't read, was able to take great care of 5 kids, who would always giggle and laugh whenever he was around them, or would want to be picked up by him. Little did they know, Nevin gave him knowledge not just on how to satisfy any women but also how to be a great father as well. Naruto just simply applied that knowledge and used it to help make those kids enjoy themselves. Alright then, your team will be responsible for the escort and protection of a man named Tazuna. You are to escort him to Wave Country and guard him there until the bridge he is building over there is completed. The most you can expect on this mission is a small band of bandits from time to time. You are to pack for a 2-week stay in Wave, but for now, I would like you to meet your client. Let him in, Sarutobi said, with the guards opening the door. Okay, you already know what he looks like, so we'll just skip the intro and go straight to the mission. Later that day, Team 7 was now on their way to the country of Wave, with Sasuke on Tazuna's right, Sakura on his left, Kakashi by his side, and Naruto in the front. Currently the group were doing their own thing, with Sakura asking Tazuna what Wave was like, which led to Kakashi talking about the shinobi nations and how the leaders with the title of Kage in their countries were known as some of the most powerful people to exist. Sakura then went on to ask question after question on how the system of shinobis worked and all that other shit that Naruto didn't truly care about. He had a feeling that something was not right in this situation, as he gained the danger sense from Kyuubi. Whenever he would go somewhere, he would get an extreme feeling of weirdness or danger. In addition, right now it was the feeling of weirdness. And indeed his sense proved itself to be right again, as they walked by a puddle in the middle of the road. Sasuke, Sakura, and Tazuna did not think anything of it. However, Naruto and Kakashi could easily tell it was a low Chunin level genjutsu. It's summer and it hasn't rained in this area for 2 weeks. That puddle is not even in the shade. I sense 2 chakra signatures underground below it, mid Chunin at best. Beggars can't be choosers. Naruto looked at Kakashi. Kakashi, of course, knew about the shinobi hidden underneath the puddle, and he knew that Naruto knew. Naruto started making subtle hand signs, and Kakashi instantly understood. Anbu signs? How the hell does he know Anbu signs? Kakashi thought, but responded with more signs. The hand signs translated roughly into this: 2 Chunin under the puddle. I know. Should I engage? No, wait, they may have information that we need. Very well. Naruto and Kakashi continued like nothing was wrong. After they passed the puddle, 2 figures dressed in cameo pants and tattered cloaks arose from the water. They both had black hair and wore gas masks. They had wicked clawed gauntlets on opposite arms that were connected with a chain made of small interlocking blades. They had on forehead protectors with the hidden mist symbol and a slash going through the middle, identifying them as Nuke Nin from Kirigakura no Sato, the village hidden in the mist. The 2 then went on the offensive, with one throwing the other towards the group, but Naruto was already prepared for it. Before any of them could see it, Naruto quickly spun around and fired off 2 rounds from Reaper and another 2 rounds off Angel. The bullet sailed between Sasuke and Tazuna and between Tazuna and Sakura. The bullets each separated to where 2 flew towards the chain and broke it in half, before the other bullets hit both men in different places. For the man airborne, he was hit in his stomach, while the other was hit between his eyes, knocking him out. Naruto then put his guns away and summoned Kyuubi to his hands and reappeared in front of the man that he shot in the stomach, within 1 second flat. He then removed the man's gauntlet arm and stabbed him through the same spot he shot him in. The man coughed up blood through his face mask, but before he died, Naruto whispered to him, "I'm sorry. May you rest in peace," before igniting his sword and burning the body, but not before removing the man's head, as the head was guaranteed big bank in the shinobi world for people that had nuke ninja status. This all happened in no less than 10 seconds, and Kakashi was now in absolute shock at what just happened. Naruto just single-handedly taken out 2 Chunin level ninja in less than 5 seconds. The fastest time he has ever seen a ninja get taken out was by the hands of his sensei several years ago before the death of his best friend. His sensei had moved in no less than 5 seconds and took out 5 ninjas within that time. He quickly regained his composure when he saw Naruto tie one of the Chunin from mist and woke him up with smelling salts. Ugh, what happened? The nuke nin said groggily. You were defeated, and your brother is dead, Naruto said. The man's eyes snapped open. What? Then he saw the white-haired kid carrying his brother's severed head. Oh my god, big bro. He choked. Naruto snorted. Don't worry, you'll be joining him soon, Naruto said as he tightened his hold on his sword and making fire surround his sword once more. The man's eyes closed, as he accepted his fate at the hands of a more skilled opponent. Granted, said opponent was much younger than him, but an opponent nonetheless. Who are you? He asked. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. May you and your brother rest in peace. With that, Naruto swung his blade at the ex-mist nin's neck and sent him to join his brother in the afterlife. The boy then removed his gauntlet arm before he stabbed his sword into the man's body and once again burning it to ash. Naruto then pulled out a scroll and sealed the head and arms of the two brothers into it. They would be very useful in the future. When Naruto turned, he saw that his whole team was looking at him with shock, surprise, and fear. For Kakashi it was surprise, as he never once thought that Naruto has killed before, but to see that the boy was not affected by their deaths meant that it was yet another mystery to be solved about the boy. For Tazuna it was pure shock that a boy barely older than his grandson was able to kill another human being. But it was thanks to the kind of past that he had that he was able to suffice the idea of a boy being able to kill someone. Though honestly speaking, he was a ninja and that was probably what was expected of them. For Sasuke and Sakura it was pure shock. They had just seen their teammate kill two Chunin-level ninja without an ounce of remorse or pity for those he took from the earth. Sasuke felt like he had just seen his brother once again kill his father before him and kidnap his mother all those years ago. Sakura, however, being a part of a clan that had little to no shinobi involvement, was now beyond shocked and scared out of her mind. She did not know what to think of Naruto, other than the fact that he could very well be the monster her parents told her he was. Naruto noticed their looks of shock and growled. Damn it, you two. He snarled as he walked up to them. Wipe those looks off your faces. This is what a ninja is, we are trained to kill. What, did you think being a shinobi would be all fun and games? That you would never have to get your hands dirty? That you would never have to do any wet work? You two are more pathetic than I thought. Did you ever stop to wonder why the targets at the academy were shaped like humans? Or why the areas where vital organs would be were circled and pointed out? Moreover, if it still has not gotten through your thick skulls, every famous ninja in history has gotten their titles by killing more people than others. Even the Yondaime got his nickname by killing hundreds of Iwa nin in the last Great War. Do you think Hatake got his title of copycat ninja by just copying enemy techniques? No, he got it by copying them and turning the techniques against his enemies, and killing them. That's how legends are made. The survivors of the attacks tell others of the carnage they witnessed, and that ninja's fame spreads. He took two small blue books out of his jacket. These are copies of the most recent bingo book. Read it all the way through. Read about what some of the shinobi have done to get themselves into this book. Then you will understand what a ninja really is. And if you don't, then you might as well quit while you still have a head. With his speech over, Naruto brushed by both shocked Jinan. Kakashi held a look of sadness in his eye as he watched Naruto walk away. But he knew what he said was completely true. They should really start teaching that in the academy, then the Jinan mortality rate wouldn't be so damn high. After about 5 minutes of walking, the group stopped again. Naruto turned to Tazuna. Alright, Tazuna-san, the demon brothers were after you for a reason. What is that reason? Naruto asked, but from him it was more of a demand. Kakashi was shocked to know that Naruto knew who they were but quickly remembered that Naruto probably had remembered their faces from the bingo book he had in his possession. Tazuna gulped and tried to play dumb. I don't know what you're talking, Abu, he was saying until Naruto then pulled out Reaper and fired a round that scratched his cheek, making the old man freeze in fear. Don't fuck with me, old man. Those two were highly trained assassins in the shinobi arts and were the apprentices of Momochi Zabuza. They know the silent kill technique as they demonstrated with the puddle, and could have just as easily killed you if those two morons, Flat Chest and Needle Dick, were the leaders of this group. They do not perform a kill for fun, only if the pay is good will they perform the silent kill, so there is a puppet master and I want to know who is pulling the strings, and in case you want to try and lie, he said, firing off 3 rounds. 2 sailed past his neck and 1 sailed under the package, if you know what I mean. Don't think I would miss again intentionally, Naruto said with a very serious look on his face, with his finger threatening to pull the trigger. The others were too stunned to even move right now, and Tazuna was contemplating on what he should do. On one hand, he could tell the boy what he wanted to know and maybe the boy would stay on the mission, but if he chose not to, he would either die, or lose his partner in crime. Actually, it wasn't that bad of a situation to tell them that if you think about it. Tazuna gulped before he sighed heavily. You are correct, they are after me. As you may know, Wave is a super poor country, but it was not always like that. Wave was once a prosperous place, full of happy people. Then Gato came with his army of mercenaries. We have no ninja village, so we had no way to defend ourselves from them and they took over. I knew Gato had sent some of his mercs after me, but I didn't know they were ninja, honest. Kakashi sighed. You do realize that this is now an A-class mission, if what Naruto said is true. Yes, I know, but I couldn't pay for an A-class, or even a B-class mission. I beg of you, please continue the mission. After I finish the bridge, Wave will be able to trade again and everything will be back to normal. I can pay you properly for an A-class mission, even give you all a bonus. But please, if not for me, then do it for the people in my country. Kazuna was on his knees now. Kakashi sighed. It's not my decision alone. He looked back at Sakura and Sasuke. It's a team decision. Naruto scoffed. Come on, Hatake-sensei, if the kiddies want to go, then let them. But I'm staying, whether you like it or not. Kakashi narrowed his eye at Naruto. And why do you care so much? First off, Kakashi, I would much rather help the man out, seeing as how he's on his knees begging for our help. Second, I got more money in the bank than this little C or A rank mission could give, so I don't give a rat's ass about the money. Thirdly, he obviously had to go to great lengths to save his land from this tyrant of his, so he had a reason to lie. Lastly, Naruto then looked at his hands and saw a faint trace of energy flying of his hand. There is something about this place that gets me excited. Like a challenge that is just waiting to happen the moment I step foot in the place. So regardless if those two don't want to go, I'm still going. They can try to mark me as a nuke ninja all they want because the most they could mark me with is a D-rank nuke nin status must be returned unharmed to the village. Under absolutely no circumstances must he be harmed or else the person bringing him in will be charging with an assault felony and must face 2 years in prison. In addition, seeing as how the old man is on my side, I could not possibly face anything more than that. So they can go back with their tails between their legs like they always do. Naruto said, knowing that he hit a very sensitive spot. Kakashi shook his head and sighed. Just like Itachi. He thought, then turned to his other 2 students. So, what will you do? Will you stay, or do you want to turn back? Sasuke growled, if this doby thinks he's going to get ahead of me, he has another thing coming, I'm staying. Sakura however was a different. Kakashi-sensei, we can't go. No matter how tough Naruto tries to sound or how brave Sasuke-kun is, we are all inexperienced. We need to go back and let someone of higher rank do this, not us. Sakura was saying until Naruto gave her a look that truly scared her. It was the look of stone-cold warrior, preparing to fight an army of demons, with eyes that spoke one word to her. Pathetic. I knew you were useless, just like your whole clan. Naruto said, making the girl look ready to cry, and don't think that I give a shit about your crying, you weak and useless excuse for a ninja. Naruto was saying with the girl showing tears that were beginning to form. Naruto, stop it right now, that was much too uncalled for. Kakashi said, even though he did agree with Naruto on all of it. Sakura was the only member of the new set of rookies to not be a part of a shinobi clan. Naruto was a huge exception, not being in a clan, but it was due to certain circumstances that caused him to be an orphan. Who cares if it's uncalled for? She needs to learn where her place is in life, and that she would have to change herself if she wants to be a real ninja. All she is doing is proving that she is a worthless person in kunoichi. She is pathetic and worthless, yet you allow her to try to think that she is on my level? The difference between us is that I can do something about my problems, but she can't do shit for herself in the village, other than being a decoy or a lamb to sacrifice to the wolves. Naruto sounding very pissed off, and felt that this would finally make the girl get the picture that she was useless, and would have to change herself to prove that she was not. That however was stopped when the girl fully broke into tears and Kakashi was now in his face glaring daggers into his eyes. Naruto, you're crossing the line. I am the leader here and you will follow my orders, he said before Naruto glared him to and began to leak killing intent. Kakashi was surprised at first, but that didn't stop him from responding with his own. Listen well, Kakashi, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I don't care if you're fucking Kami with the Shinigami and his legion of demons by his side. You may be a Jounin, but I am still stronger than both of these weaklings here. I have to be the one to pick up the slack that they can't carry. I have to be the one to save their sorry asses when the world finally stops shitting on them. If you want to hold their little hands in the battlefield, then that's fine. But what I will be doing is fighting alongside the other warriors that the village needs to protect it. Naruto said with Kakashi stepping back, but their glares were still headed. Let's go, was all Naruto said as he walked away with the group in tow, while Kakashi was carrying a still distraught Sakura. 20 minutes later, the group was now walking for a full 20 minutes, with 5 going to traveling across the lake to get to the soils of Wave Country. However, it was during this walk did Naruto sense something or someone was watching them. Kit, you're not wrong, as I sense it too. Be very cautious about this opponent as I sense a lot of killing intent aimed at the old man. Kyuubi said with Naruto nodding, as he saw Sasuke fling a kunai at a branch only to reveal it to be a snow white bunny. Something a weakling like Sakura would pass off as nothing, but a true shinobi like Kakashi and those with sense like himself and Sasuke knew otherwise. Naruto then began to make hand signs to Kakashi, who responded with his own. The rabbit's coat was white when it should be brown. Yes, plus it's native to this land as that type of rabbit is only seen in mist. How do you think it got there? I would say the enemy used a substitution to replace himself with the rabbit so we would all fall for his trap. Should we engage him now? Yes, as soon as he makes his move. As soon as they were finished, Naruto saw the bunny hop away and began to walk forward, before peeling out Blood Fang. The boy then turned on his left heel and off one of its high-powered rounds at the tree. He knew the enemy was. The bullet hit the tree and set it on fire, before a huge sword flew out of the flames and headed directly for them. "Get down!" was all Kakashi yelled, as he pulled down both Tazuna and Sakura. Everyone then felt the large blade fly over their downed bodies and embedded itself into a tree, with a figure standing on the handle of the sword. It was a tall man with bandages wrapped around the lower half of his face. His forehead protector was off to the side of his head and he had no eyebrows. He wore 2 forearm warmers with a cameo pattern on them, and he wore baggy pants with the same pattern, and black ninja sandals. Momochi Zabuza, A-class nuke nin from Kirigakure, one of the legendary 7 swordsmen of the mist. "It is an honor to meet a killer of your caliber," Naruto said, staring intently at the tall swordsman. Zabuza chuckled evilly. "So, one of the brats knows me, eh? I see you have trained them well, copycat ninja Hatake Kakashi." Kakashi was about to say something, but Naruto cut him off with a scoff. "He has taught us absolutely nothing. But he and the others are irrelevant right now. Get down here and let's fight," Naruto said as he brought forth his sword Yamato and unsheathed the sword and held it in his right hand and placed the sheath on his hip. The two charged each other, their swords hitting the other's heart, and their feet creating foot impressions in the earth beneath them. Zabuza swung horizontally while Naruto blocked, groaning as his body was smaller than Zabuza's, which had more muscle on it than his 12-year-old body did, and pushed the Jounin level missing nin back with great difficulty. This time, it was Naruto's turn to attack, as he charged forward, spinning his blade as he went before he unleashed a diagonal swing to Zabuza, and the taller man jumped out of the way while a tree behind him collapsed from being the one sliced in two. "He's good. That sword is different too. It is not like Kisame's sword or the other 7 swordsmen with their blades having their own unique powers. No. This sword that's in the kid's hands has a more natural feeling, or at least done in a more refined way, than the others, and if I didn't know any better I would say I felt something else in it," thought a curious Zabuza, wondering what his observing subordinate's thoughts were of this matter. "I see you're curious about my sword. Allow me to introduce to you Yamato, one of the prized swords from my clan," Naruto said before sent a diagonal slash towards Zabuza, and a blast in the shape of a moon flew at Zabuza, who luckily jumped out of the way. Naruto then resheathed Yamato and called out summon swords. Bringing the transparent ghost swords back, Naruto sent 4 at Zabuza and kept 2 with him. Zabuza blocked all the swords with his own sword and knocked them away, only to be hit by 2 more in his right shoulder and left abdomen. He grunted through the pain and began to make hand signs. "You won't beat me. I can still fight," Zabuza said, producing his hand signs faster. Naruto saw this and began to form his own seals with his left hand before waiting for Zabuza to finish his. "Water release, water dragon jutsu, lightning release, lightning dragon," they both yelled at the same time. Behind Zabuza, a huge plume of water formed the shape of a dragon and looked prepared to attack, while above Naruto lightning came down but in the form of a dragon. Both men then sent their attacks towards each other, but Zabuza forgot that in nature, lightning is stronger than water. Indeed, that was what happened, as the lightning dragon tore through the water dragon and exploded right in front of him. He was sent flying through the air and landed right beneath a tree, coughing up blood in the process. He looked up and saw Naruto walking towards him with his sword still on his hip. His eyes looked like that of a true warrior's eye. The boy then held up his right arm, and began to form a Rasengan while he spoke. "Momochi Zabuza, I have seen your will to fight and desire to live. For that one fact alone, I will give you the death only a warrior of your caliber deserves, and only hit you in a place where you shall die on your own." Naruto, Rasengan fully formed in his hand, and poised to end Zabuza's life. Before he could perform that action, a pair of senbon flew through the air and pierced the man's neck. "Thank you for defeating Momochi Zabuza so easily for me. It gave me the chance to take him down myself while he was distracted with you," said the now appeared masked shinobi-clothed individual, who, if from what Naruto learned, was a hunter ninja with the mask worn signifying that status. "No problem, but I have a question for you before you do take the big guy away," said Naruto, his eyes narrowing at this hunter nin, who seemed to stiffen slightly at the possible question. "Yes?" said the hunter nin, now having the dead body on his shoulders. "Why aren't you disposing of the body right now?" said Naruto, his pupils becoming slits, and he heard the hunter nin's heartbeat increasing at the question. "Until we meet again, Leaf Shinobi," said the fake hunter Nin before disappearing, with Zabuza deciding that even though the rescue had been botched, it was only at the last second in terms of false identity. Indeed, said Naruto before allowing Yamato to disappear into his arm. It then that his teammates arrived to the scene, only to find him standing there waiting for their arrival. After saying a few things towards each other, the group walked off to Tazuna's house. Things were bound to get interesting further down the path they were on. And guys, this is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. See time. Peace.